What I find incredible as well is that, look, I mean, if there's anything serious about this, in the confrontation there, this politician is like, well, I came here for a good experience. And it's like, aha. They think built into the model, because it's built into the model, that if they are of the good team, then they will be given the appearance of an interview, as opposed to the bad team where, of course, they pretend it's a prosecution. Welcome to the relationship between most of the media and the team they prefer, being the left.
Yes. That was my first thought as I watched this, which was, any conservative in the land would be able to handle this with ease. Most conservatives are watching it like, what's the problem? Why is she getting so upset? This is not antagonistic. What's happening? Because that's a day ending in Y for any Republican. Like, of course, the media is going to antagonize you and ask nasty questions that are irritating. Like, if you can't handle that, you definitely cannot run as a Republican. It's Democrat primary season, you see. And that's this weird time of year when journalists start acting like real journalists who ask tough questions even of Dems. And so that's why Katie Porter was confused. She's not used to it. And the reporter actually showed some spine. Now, I don't know this particular gal and whether she's always like this, but something tells me she probably wouldn't have been quite as antagonistic if this were Katie Porter versus a Trump acolyte. I don't know. I could be wrong. But it's true of most of the media. They would have been more aggressive with the Republican. And Katie Porter was utterly baffled and kept repeating, like, I want this to be a pleasant experience. And now finally the reporter's like, I want this to be a pleasant experience. And she's like, I expected this to be nice. I didn't she's utterly baffled at the fact that she's not having a pleasant experience. And literally every GOP politician is watching that, just crossing his arms, rolling his eyes and laughing. It's just, how's she going to do when she gets into debates with actual Republicans? Maybe she's just used to spewing her Democratic talking points and having moderators who never push her. But look, whatever has to happen for her to win, that's what has to happen. I'm now in favor of the media backing off this woman. We need to make it as easy as possible, because we really don't have that many characters who will just let it all hang out the way this gal will. And I'm sorry for her staffers and I'm sorry for Californians, but I need this.
Yeah. Clear the field. Coronation. That's what we want for the next 4 years. Not for the people of California, but for those of us that are watching on.
It needs to be pleasant for me, Paul. That's who it needs to be pleasant for me.
Hey. And whatever crumbs fall off your table, they will feed the rest of us in excitement in observing as well. What about Kamala Harris? Now, I actually read somewhere that people did buy her book, or at least 300,000 people, or at least a lot of donors. But we're now into the after dark version of the book tour, where we're working blue now. We're dropping the F-bomb. Whoa, she's reminding us how hip she could have been if she was the president. Trump did that on the South Lawn of the White House, by the way. Yeah.
She is faking it. I mean, that's why it doesn't work. You and I both know nothing wrong with deploying a good swear here and there. Oh, yeah. As Katie Porter agrees. But it has to be authentic to you in order for it to work. You can't have all these Democrats running around like they have been, trying to recruit young men because they know they've lost them, by dropping like strategically placed F-bombs. That does not work. And it certainly doesn't work for Mumala to try to switch up her image into street Kamala, who's like now dropping F-bombs while promoting her book.
Owning up to the responsibility that the powerful have to have some level of concern and care, if not just fucking curiosity.
I mean, it's one more artifice around this woman. There's not an authentic bone in her body. I guess she realizes she has to give up like the accents because they've become such a punchline. So now she's switching into MFer at every book tour to sound cool and like she's in on the joke and she's one of the cool kids. It's like, okay, nobody looks at Kamala and thinks she's cool and she drops F-bombs. They think Venn diagram, they think school buses, they think what a weirdo she married and that she covered up for Joe Biden's mental infirmities. And that's about it. And that she's kind of dopey. But in any event, that's her new, I guess, tactic to make herself seem likable. And that actually has a lot of people, that the whole thing with the book sales and so on, thinking she is going to run for president again. which I also am in favor of. See earlier reasoning.
Now, I don't know if I can get 3 in a row in terms of people you want to stick around, right? You know, collectively in the veins to keep us all alive. It's a couple of days old, but I've got to ask, right? As soon as I saw Meghan Markle walking out of the Balenciaga fashion show, and by the way, weren't they the people who made some pretty weird ads a couple of years ago? I mean, you know, just roll
totally
on.
Exploitative of young children.
Yeah, roll on. That's fine. They keep, you know, they're uncancelable. And you're going, sorry, I'm pretty sure that would sort of rule most people out. But what did you think about the person who thinks they're queen in their own mind, just with the saunter and all the rest of it as she was leaving the fashion show, that being Meghan Markle?
Okay. The reason Giselle is because she will walk out of the Balenciaga fashion show and you will not be able to tell at all how hard she's trying. It's effortless. She's Giselle. Same with Cindy Crawford. Linda Evangelista. I'm going through the 90s supermodels because these modern day influencers are painful. But I will say, same thing for like a Kendall Jenner. She walks out and you don't see her trying so hard. Now, the sisters of Kendall Jenner, you do. But these supermodels of today make it look effortless, and that's why your eyes are glued to them and you're just admiring their beautiful form and their beautiful fashion. And you're like, oh, hashtag goals. It doesn't work for you to shoulders back, breasts out, headlights going, head up, and try to look as bitchy as possible. And stride. That is what the kids call a sweaty try hard. It's obvious. I can see you're trying. I feel uncomfortable. I have kind of secondhand embarrassment for you. If you can't pull it off naturally, please don't try. Please just walk out like a normal person would walk. Otherwise, everything about you, as per usual with this gal, is alienating.